Today we're unboxing the GAGGIA Classic Pro. So in the first box, before we get to the main deal, literally just double espresso shot glass. So that's going to help us out. And in here we've got some coffee. Oh, that smells good. Put that to the side for now because the main event is this GAGGIA Classic Pro. So let's get this unboxed, shall we? We don't need that. Okay, in the box we got some styrofoam, manual. Oh, I don't want to get my grimy fingers on this nice white though. And we're gonna lift this up. Classic Pro. Right, so in this box, alright, so inside that box, we've got the drip tray cover, and this on its own has a nice little cover on it as well, which we're going to pull right off. Slightly less satisfying than some peels, but that comes off. That's going to go right on the drip tray. This drip tray comes out, and back here, wrapped in more plastic, we have, that's going to come out, power plug, and I believe that this one, yeah, we've got our steam wand on the side here, which means this is for the solenoid valve discharge tube, and that is our water container. Pull it out, and so that goes right back in here, tubes into it, slide that back, and there we go. In the top there's an area for pouring water into that, so that's going to go in there for now. Drip tray in, solenoid tube. Doesn't seem to fit so nicely with the drip tray in. So with the drip tray out, we'll push that up in there. Oh, that doesn't seem to fit so nicely either. There's potentially an art to this, which I'm clearly unaware of. I'm just going to screw it and see what happens. The question, I guess, then is whether the drip tray fits in. The drip tray does fit in, but it feels backwards because the hole doesn't line up. Alright, then otherwise, in that box we've got the portafilter, standard 58mm group head, which I've been learning what that actually means. I've found myself down a rabbit hole when it comes to coffee YouTube videos. I can't even get this out. Let's see if there's a tool in here for that. And in this bag, we've got all the other accessories. So we have a coffee spoon, scooping tool. Not really going to use much, I'm sure, but we'll stick that to the side for now. We have the plastic tamp. Again, not going to get used too much, but at the moment I haven't purchased a tamp because this cost me more than enough money, thank you very much. And we have two alternative baskets. We've got the single basket, a little bit smaller, and the double basket. And that's all that is in that. Now in here, so there's no tool unfortunately, maybe you want to get something, but in here currently is the pressurized basket, I believe, which allows for you to use pre-ground store-bought coffee. I don't have pre-ground store-bought coffee. Fortunately, I was able to borrow an espresso grinder and grind some coffee beans for this test. So we're just going to get this pressurized basket out of here. So that's the pressurized basket, and in there is this little thing, which again assists with that. So those two pieces are going to get out of there for now, and we are going to use our standard double shot basket, which is going to go in there. Alright, so that's going to go in there like that. It feels sturdy. So I think that's pretty much it. So tell you what, let's get this thing plugged in, get some water in it, and give it a go, shall we? Alright, we are plugged in, and I'm glad I got this because that just fits under there. So I've heard that this doesn't have much space between drip tray and portafilter, unfortunately, but this shot glass is just small enough that that's going to fit in there, which is perfect. So let's get that power on. Okay, I admittedly expected that. Immediately, that's interesting. I expected this to be a switch that clicks down and stays down, much like this one I expect to be, but maybe not. But actually, it's a flick switch. So if this light were to stop working, you'd have no idea if it was on or not. That's kind of strange to me. Anyway, we're gonna let this thing heat up, grab some water, grab some milk, and get this going. So the story behind me actually getting this machine is that I've been drinking a lot more coffee recently. I would say that I drink a lot more tea than I drink coffee, but I've been enjoying coffee recently, and specifically because I have been having it from proper espresso machines. A friend of mine named John, a senior pastor at our church, is very big into coffee, all sorts of types of brewing methods, collections of old siphons and mocha pots, etc. And also has an espresso machine. And I've been spending a bit of time at his house recently and enjoying the coffee from it. Our church also has a proper commercial espresso machine, which I've tried my hand at and messed around with a little bit and have served on the coffee team, and therefore it's got me a lot more appreciating this type of espresso. And what that's meant is that a couple of mornings before work I've been going and getting a flat white just to wake up in the morning, and just because I'm enjoying the routine of it. The downside to that is that it often costs me a lot of money. And so looking back at my coffee expenses over the last month, I wasn't quite happy with where they were sitting. And admittedly, I could just cut down on my coffee drinking. But the times when I've been able to make my own coffee with an espresso machine, I really enjoyed it. And being able to save a decent amount of money making your own as opposed to buying one and often tipping. I will still be doing that because I enjoy and believe in supporting local business. But the joy of being able to make your own and have your own, I felt like was worth the investment. So that's the brief story of getting this set up. And so I haven't spent money on, there's a lot of upgrades you can actually do this machine, and so maybe at some point in the future we'll mess around with a bit of DIY. Might need a little bit of assistance because I don't want to break this. As much as it is an entry-level prosumer espresso machine, I don't want to break it because for me it is an investment. Cool, let's make some coffee. So I'm going to flick this switch and let's see if it's a stay down switch or if it's a flick back up switch. Okay, that is a stay down switch. Okay. So what you'll see is that now that this is ready to make coffee, this light is on. So flicking this down is going to start pulling the water through and into the portafilter. Now there are a whole lot of tricks in terms of making sure that the right temperature is coming through, the right temperature of water is coming through here. But I'm not going to worry about any of those temperature surfing techniques that I've been seeing, at least for this first attempt. And as I get more into it, I'll start playing around with how to make sure I'm bringing out the absolute best cup of coffee from this. So let's get this thing open. I'm an idiot. Shot glass removed. Now let's get this thing open. Alright, that is properly warm. Just touching that was a bad idea. I should have known that. I have more experience with machines than that. I do not have a tamping mat. I have not invested in one, and therefore I really shouldn't be, but I'm going to use this piece of paper. And we're going to scoop some coffee into this. This is a very bad idea. I should be weighing this out. I unfortunately ran out of battery, and I don't really know what I'm doing with this whole filming setup. So therefore that's probably set at a bit of a different place, unfortunately. But I also don't know what I was saying, but I've pretty much just eyed this coffee and not doing a very good job at this. But oh gosh, this is a disaster. This plastic tamp, this is a proper disaster. This is honestly a joke. I can't wait to look back at this video down the line and see all the improvements that I've been able to make, because wowza. Oh my word, is this thing honestly supposed to be used? I don't get that. I mean, even just trying to level that is an absolute disaster. Anyway, that is, I would say, mostly level, but it's really not a great set puck, to be honest. Let's get this in though, let's get this on, let's make some coffee, shall we? Alright, let's see if one of these smaller cups fits under here. Looks like we're kind of alright at an angle. Interesting to note, I'm not going to be using that though. I think I'm just going to use the shot, and I guess let's see how it goes. Now there is a trick with forcing some pre-infusion here, although it looks like the grind might be a little bit too fine for this machine because nothing's actually coming. Oh, there we go, although it's a bit of a quick one, so we might have actually got some pre-infusion. Quite a nice crema coming through there, which is awesome. Yeah. Okay, not as much crema as I actually thought originally, but we have a shot. I'm just going to clean this out quickly before I do anything else. Let's change over and get ready to steam. We'll move this over. We're just going to get a bit of water in here, even if it's not ready to steam quite yet. Just clean that out. That's the drip tray. That'll just sit there for now. I don't have a cloth, so I need one of those. I'll be right back, and then we can steam some milk. Alrighty then. Let's get some milk in here. Light says we're good to go. So let's see how we go. Very frothy first attempt. Don't like that. That's not the machine. My own fault. Being used to using the commercial one at church, and I say used to loosely, this is definitely going to take a lot longer to steam this milk up to an acceptable temperature. But we're starting to get there, and we have a nice amount of foam here. So let's get that turned off, shall we? Get that out. You can see I probably had that a little bit deep, but let's get that cleaned off because we really don't want to burn any milk on here first go. Here we go. First coffee on the GAGGIA Classic Pro. And it is not a great attempt, but not terrible at all. And you can see I made an absolute mess next to the machine, but not too bad. Some, I'd say, decent milk texture and microfoam going on there. Not the greatest, not the worst. So let's see, I'd say a decent first attempt on the GAGGIA Classic Pro. I'm breaking things.